Hello, everybody. We have another flying island with another power source that decides it wants to. If you move it, it takes away the flying island's ability to fly. What? I don't know.
That's a surprisingly common plot point now that you bring it up.
Yeah, it is. Cave story.
Cave Story, and I'm using the original graphics and original music because I'm recording this off the Wii version, and yeah, the Wii version soundtrack is really narmy.
As you can tell by the Nicholas developer in the beginning. That's how you can always tell if it's the Wii version or not, because Nicholas helped develop, well, I should say port the game over to the Wii. Were they also responsible for getting it over to the 3DS?
Uh, I believe so. I could be wrong. I don't remember exactly.
I thought
Yeah.
Nicholas was just the name of the guy who made the game, because I know that.
No, that's Daisuke Amano, something like that. Yeah, this entire game right now, the first thing we should mention, it was made by one guy.
Sprite work, programmed, music, everything, all by one man.
This must have taken him like forever.
3 years, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
So it's your final project in game development school. Excellent. The Cave Story is a game that I've only ever been exposed to through Johnny's review of it, honestly. I've never played it. I know there's a freeware version, so there's no excuse other than lack of time. But,
It is a bit odd. I mean, this game is now commercially available on the Wii. It is available on Steam. I think it's K-Story Plus. It's on the 3DS eShop. That's also K-Story Plus. And there's also the 3DS remake. But you can still download the free version of the game on the PC.
Yeah, there's like a billion versions of this game if you want to try it.
Still not as many as Sonic 1, though.
Well, you
Yeah,
can
but
play
they-
Sonic
but they-
1
they
or
charge you
can
for all of
play-
those, though.
No, nothing will ever beat Sonic 1, Rayman 2, or Final Fantasy 4, because you can play those games on like your blender.
yeah. Well, to be honest, having the free version around is good because let's be honest, just at an at a glance impression of this game, people aren't going to be all that interested, not enough to pay for it before they try it anyway. Having that freeware version out there,
Yeah,
gives
it's like the
people,
world's biggest
you know,
demo.
Yeah, it gives people a chance to play around with the game before they buy the better version.
Yes.
If I recall correctly, that is the only time the door is an enemy in this game. Isn't it?
Yes, that's the only time you ever fight the door.
What an odd fucking enemy.
Why do you
didn't-
fight doors?
It didn't even look like a demon door enemy. It was just a door.
Yeah, how do you fight doors? Final Fantasy IV, Ryan. There's your answer.
Well, I mean, it's just like here in the reservoir. There's that fish
Yeah,
right there.
which you can shoot.
It looks like a goldfish cracker.
It doesn't even try to attack you, but it hurts you if you touch it.
Well, yeah,
I'm
just-
having difficulties.
Yeah, it's about to
I thought you said this was a speed run, Nate.
I didn't say it was a speed one. I just said I completed it the fastest
No,
time
no.
I ever
Watch
did.
it be amazed. He's going to do a screen warp, right?
Instant transmission
Yeah.
to the end of the game.
just cut to the credits. I'm amazed.
Oh, but it was the bad ending. Sorry, not 100%.
Son of a bitch. No, the thing I like about that fish, it's a very instantaneous moment. You might have caught a glimpse of it. That when you shoot him, he makes some sort of awesome face.
Yes, he does. And here we have Toroko and King, two bunny people things.
I think they're called Mamigas.
Yeah,
don't know
Mamiga,
what the
but
fuck
they
that
never
is.
specify what they're supposed to be. Rabbits, dogs, rabid dogs, rabbits.
Rabbit dogs. Oh!
An item that most people forget on their first playthrough, the map system. I never use it.
Neither
No,
do I.
Cave Story's map kind of sucks, which, isn't really that big of a deal, because this game actually is pretty linear, really. Like, you kind of go back and forth through levels, but it's never really an issue of where to go next.
Yeah.
That's not an issue I ever really had.
Kind of like Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
The only thing I ever really used a map for was when I was first finding like all the little secrets and stuff. Because there are some times where some pathways are blocked by foreground stuff.
Is that a giant talking lunchbox?
Yep.
Yes.
Yup. This is Balrog, who likes to channel his inner Kool-Aid Man all the time.
Well, he slams through walls. It's only appropriate.
Yeah, in the PC port, and I think in Cave Story Plus, he screams huzzah.
Huzzah. I like Oh Yeah a little more. It could be a minority in that opinion, but it makes sense. He busts through walls. I like Kool-Aid.
If
Not
you
Nate
say
Portnoy.
if you say no, he doesn't fight you, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, no, this is completely optional. I do it for the experience.
Okay, now this is kind of a nitpick, but I really hate the sound the little experience things make when they land on the ground. Like the clink 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 clink. It just drives me off the wall, and it's
Well,
really
you can hear them no matter where you are in the level.
Yeah.
yeah. And what's really bad is when we get to the I forget the name of it, but I think it's the second level you go to. There's a part with spikes, and the experience crystals can easily fall into the spikes, and you will be stuck hearing that noise until they disappear because spikes are instant death. Because
Shut up, Nacho.
Can I just say I don't like games that make you pick up experience. Like unless it's played like a currency system, and even then it's slightly annoying. But why make experience a collectible item? That's not what experience is.
In case you're going for a hard run.
Yeah, I would. That would be the if you're going for that, and there's a specific gun way later down the road, it's late game, that is stronger when you don't level it up.
Yes, and I completely forgot to get that.
If you're leveling up, you don't need it.
I'm jumping the gun a bit here. Do you stick with the machine gun that a certain character gives you, or do you get the much better
I
Star Mark II?
I get the spur. I get the spur every run.
Well,
the machine gun I stopped getting.
I got the thing about Cave Story, and this is one of my main issues with it, is that there's a lot of stuff that, like, there's a lot of noob traps in this game. Where,
Oh yes,
like,
absolutely.
like, for example, the machine gun, which, I did find helpful when I played the game, my first... actually, I've only beaten the game once, but, one thing about the machine gun I love is being able to shoot the ground and float in midair. That's just, I just think that's awesome. Like, if you pick up the machine gun, you can't ever get the old gun back, and you and you cut yourself out of getting, like, 3 other different guns later in the game. If I remember
Yeah.
correctly. So there's a lot of stuff like that in this game that kind of rubs me the wrong way, because there's also a part like something like that to get the good ending, which I'm sure we'll be talking about later on. So we'll save that for then.
That kind of design mentality irritates me.
Okay, first off, when I first played this game, I did not know you could talk to that computer, and I was stuck here for like 10 minutes figuring out why can't I teleport?
Why can't I do anything?
Oh God, I was watching this Raw before we started, and the music here drives me up the wall.
I think it's pretty, like, I have I don't I have a couple of issues with Cave Story, but the soundtrack's pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, but just this music here. Just this. Listen to this. It's the same beep over and over, and there's some kind of melody or rhythm or something going on underneath it, but that's underneath it. You still have this beeping going on. And you know what? I hope to God the plus versions of the game have better music in this section, because listening to this the entire way through, no, it's not music. It's a test of patience.
Lewis, at least it's not the Wii version.
Well, no, here's the thing. The Wii version had like 2 different... The Wii version had like 2 different soundtracks, if I remember correctly. Like, it updated in, like, the soundtrack completely changed for some reason.
No, it has the original and it has the remix tunes.
Huh. Well, I kind of liked the remix tunes, to be honest.
I assume what we're listening to now is the original.
Yes.
Yes.
I like some of the remix tunes, but you got to give me the original version of the Plantation theme, which is considered like the Cave Story theme.
Oh,
Because
Yeah.
it's the first song you hear on the title screen.
Yeah.
Cthulhu?
Yeah.
At that point, what they should just do is do what the what do you call it? There was a game that lets you individually pick
Sonic
music
CD,
for levels.
Sonic CD. whatever version it was.
The Sonic CD rebuild was it lets you choose between two different soundtracks. Yeah, and that's always a good idea. That's always a good option. But it's not hard to make toggle menus for individual levels and say this is the music that I want to play in this level. In fact, fighting games do it all the time.
The Dracula X Chronicles in the PSP let you do that.
Can you turn off the Final Toccata for all of
Yes. Well, not specifically in the night, but the Rondo of Blood reboot, a remake. You can do that.
Yeah. You could toggle all the music in all the different levels.
Yeah. So if you want to, you can have the Final Toccata play for every single fucking level.
Oh. Why would you do that?
Because you're doing a Let's Play, and the Final Toccata is the only one that doesn't get content ID'd, apparently.
Wait, really?
No, I'm kidding. But that is one possible motivation if it's true.
All right, so we got a little into it in the beginning of the video, but what is our personal history with Cave Story? Like, how were we first exposed to this game? Because I reviewed this game in the middle of my indie marathon, indie showcase. That's what I call it now. And I was pleasantly surprised. Like I'm gonna say, like I was already sort of familiar with it because I've heard of the Metroid parallels, and that's all you really need to convince me.
That item get music.
You're such a nerd.
I say that, and I look at my copy of, I forgot the name on the game on the Xbox Live. I think it was like Shadowrun or Shadow something. And that had a lot of no. And that had a lot of Metroid parallels. I haven't finished that game yet, but I played Cave Story for a bit. I put it down because my backlog was already massive enough as it is. So I finally had a reason to pick it up again when the indie showcase, and I finished it like 4 or 5 fucking times before I even reviewed the game.
Well, I think that might be because there's like 12 different versions of the game.
It's not a very long game.
Yeah, you can beat it in like an afternoon if you.
Yes, if you're dedicated enough, you can do that. Even if you're going for everything.
Well, I mean, I beat it in 2.5 hours here.
Oh, there you go. And that's going after everything, right? I mean,
that's getting the best ending.
Yes.
The only thing I did not get is the little trinket for beating a boss we fight later down the road.
Okay.
Now, personally, I think this is a game I had heard a lot about before, just on the internet and stuff, and I played it when the Wii version first came out. That was like 2010, 2009 or so. I forget what.
2010.
2010. Okay, I thought that was it. And I played through it. I got the normal ending because again, like you have to do some kind of ridiculous stuff for the good ending. And I like it, but I guess I just don't really see. I don't really see why people think it's like one of the best indie games out there, I guess is mostly it. Because I have a handful of kind of assorted nitpicks throughout that I guess bother me more than they would bother other people.
Well, I guess part of the appeal is the knowledge that it's built by only one person. Because considering that, it's very impressive.
Yes, it is indeed very impressive. And you can jump on the elephants and just sort of stand on them. Fun fact.
Yeah. But it's worth keeping the flaws in mind either way, because, if there's ever a sequel or a tweaked rebuild or anything, acknowledging those flaws and making it better is always a thing. And I don't really subscribe to the people who use the.
I don't know if they're ever going to do a sequel, though.
Yeah, I know. What I'm going to say, I don't really subscribe to the people who kind of say that, like, because it was only made by one person, you shouldn't be complaining about that kind of thing. No, that's not how critiquing video games works. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I think Lewis dropped.
Okay, so his Audacity is probably still going. So like, his little tirade there is going to be caught on tape. But like,
well, I'll ask him when this is all over. If it's all fine, then I could edit it in without it being any problem.
But yeah, okay, that was.
Just a little meta humor for you folks.
Yeah.
You think he'll still be talking when the call comes back?
Probably. if I know Lewis.
I got confused for a second. I was like, wait, is that me? Did I drop?
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one who thought that.
Yeah, I thought I dropped, so I'm just like, I'm going to remain silent until someone says something.
I think that's why we all stayed silent.
All right. Well, until we still have some time left on the video, but until Lewis gets back, Ryan, what is your initial experience?
I played the freeware version for about 10 minutes, got a little bit bored because it had a bit of a slow opening, and I never went back to it.
I played the PC version for 10 minutes, and then dinner was ready.
Pretty much.
I was actually introduced to this game by a friend because of their Skype icon at the time was, quote, spoilers, we find his name out later down the road.
Quote,
You don't find out his name unless you're playing the game in curly mode.
Oh, yeah, that's right, no.
His name is Quote, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Curly brace and quote. Oh yeah.
Oh, I get it. Oh, is there parentheses? Also, why did Arthur draw a random triangle on his chalkboard there? Like,
I think it has something to do with the experience.
oh.
Or they have to travel back to the alternate 1985 to fix the future.
Yeah.